You've just had your baby, you're leaving the hospital, and now you're home. What's going to happen? Hi, my name is Nikase. I have given birth to two precious, beautiful boys naturally, and I just want to be able to help moms who may not have time to go to a parenting class or watch any videos. They just know they're having a baby and now the baby is here. And they may not know what to really expect. I just want to share my experiences with you so you're somewhat prepared. I am not a medical professional, so take my advice of how you want to, like however you want to. I just want to be a little light for you and for nothing to be really surprising. So yeah, let's just get started. If you're new here, please subscribe. I don't always just talk about pregnancy, and I talk about a little bit everything, honestly. I just feel like this is just going to be helpful because I know a lot of pregnant people right now. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Don't forget to share my videos as well. Okay, so you have left the hospital. If you have not seen my last video where I talk about the first 24 to 48 hours of what happens while you're in a hospital, but now you're home and you're trying to figure out, all right, I have this person. What am I going to do with this person? What's happening with my body? All of that things. So, all right. This is what's going down. You kind of don't recognize yourself anymore the first week. So much is going on because it's not that you're just going home to yourself or your significant partner or whatever the case may be. You're going home with a brand new baby who is fully dependent on you to survive. Isn't that scary? It is, but I promise you'll be able to get through it. First things first, the hospital will give you things and take all of them. They will give you some starter diapers. If you want more, ask for more. They don't mind. You keep asking. They will send you with a bunch of stuff. If you choose to breastfeed, I want you to know that right now your body is learning your baby. So the first few times you feed your baby, it's not going to be actual milk. It's going to be colostrum. So don't be worried that, oh my gosh, my baby's not getting any milk. I don't see any milk or anything like that. Don't worry about that. It's going to be colostrum the first few days. When your milk come in, mamas, I think this actually happens to everybody, whether you choose to breastfeed or not. Your breasts are going to be rock hard. It is going to be engorged and it might hurt for some. I don't know how everybody's pain tolerance is. For me, that sucker hurts. Okay, and it comes in, your milk comes in around day 3 or 4 on average. Baby, it hurts, okay? Get you a warm washcloth or a cold washcloth. There's different ways of pain relief to help you with the engorgement. But honey, you're gonna be engorged. You're gonna be like, what the heck is wrong with my breast? There's nothing wrong with your breast. It's trying to feed your baby. It doesn't know how much to give your baby. Your baby is going to be signaling to your body on how much milk it needs, but that's going to take some time. If you're breastfeeding, I am breastfeeding, so I'm going to be talking to the mothers who's choosing to breastfeed. It's going to take about 6 weeks for your body to really regulate and know your baby's schedule. Your baby's saliva is basically telling your body. It's such an incredible thing what God does for our bodies. Your baby's saliva is basically talking to your nipple, and while it's eating, your nipple is signaling, oh, this is what you need, and it's telling your brain and all that other stuff. this is what the baby's gonna need. So it's gonna take your take some time for your body to regulate. Will you be engorged the entire 6 weeks? No. It's just that first week, when your milk first come in, baby, it is not a pleasant thing. I'm sorry, it's not. I believe that if you are choosing the formula route, after a few, I think like maybe a week or so, your breast will kind of go back to normal. I don't know. I breastfed both my babies, or I'm currently still breastfeeding one, so I don't know. But the ones that's going to choose to breastfeed, I'm letting you know what's going to happen. So for the first 4 to 6 weeks, I know I said I was going to talk about the first week, but this is just going to continue. You're going to be bleeding. I suggest, because you cannot wear, you cannot wear tampons, you cannot insert anything up your vagina, I suggest diapers. Get you some adult diapers. My personal favorite brand was Depends. For the first few days, even going into a week, it really depends on how much you're bleeding. I think Depends are great. Adult diapers, get into it. Listen, it was great. The pad's not moving anywhere, because that's what it's for. It's just there. And then after that, you just get you some super pads or some overnight pads, whatever you're more comfortable with, because you're going to be bleeding for about 4 to 6 weeks after birth. This is not a cycle. This is not a period birth. It is something that's called, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, lochia. I know how it's spelled, Lochia. Pronunciation, not 100% sure. I say lochia. That's what's happening in your body. That's why you're bleeding for so long. It starts off heavy and it just tapers off within the 4 to 6 weeks. Around 4 weeks, you might not be bleeding anymore. Around 6 weeks, if you're on the longer end of things, it's usually done by then. And you probably won't get your cycle again. If you are breastfeeding, you might not get your cycle again until you stop breastfeeding. And some people who are unfortunate like me, your cycle don't give a flying hoot if you're breastfeeding. It's just gonna come back. For some people, it's 3 months postpartum, 4 months postpartum, whatever the case may be. Anyways, I digress. So you're gonna be bleeding that first week. Your breast is gonna be hurting that first week. That's for sure. You're also gonna be you're gonna be tired. And I know people have probably warned you before that, you don't really sleep during the newborn phase. It's because your child has to eat very often. Every 2 to 3 hours, that baby is eating, okay? Because their stomach is about this size. It could only hold so much food. So imagine if your stomach was imagine if your stomach was about that size right there. It can't handle too much. So as your baby is eating, pooping, he's hungry again, or she's hungry again. You're gonna go through a lot of diapers, okay? And that's not even just the first week. Newborns poop a lot. They poop a lot. You're going through 8 to 10 diapers a day. So if you're watching this, you're not pregnant, you're not a mom, you just want to know this information. If you want to gift somebody that's going to have a baby diapers, I mean, any size they're going to be grateful for. But if you could get the super mega size, that'll be much appreciated. Imagine 8 to 10 diapers a day. Let's just say 10 diapers a day for a week. That's already 70 diapers. Some boxes don't even have 70 diapers in it. Come on, buy the big box. Anyways, they're gonna be pooping a lot. They're gonna be crying a lot. That's the only form of communication that they have. They eat every 2 to 3 hours. So you're sleepy, you're bleeding, you're in pain. It's going to be a very uncomfortable week. And also within this first week, baby's first visit to the pediatrician. You're going to make sure all those hospital documentations that you've had, your discharge papers. You're going to need your discharge papers. You're going to need your baby's discharge papers, okay? And you're going to find you a nice pediatrician that you like, because you can pre-interview pediatricians if you want to prior to picking one that your insurance covers, right? And then you're going to go in tired, all the things. And you're going to meet your baby's doctor, and your doctor is going to weigh the baby. The pediatrician is going to weigh the baby. Do not be shocked at the weight. I'm letting you know right now, your baby will not be the same weight. 9 times out of 10, your baby will not be the same weight as it was when your baby was born. They lose weight. Actually, while you're at the hospital, your baby's gonna lose weight. The goal is, your pediatrician will tell you, the goal is to make sure your baby is back at its birth weight by the 2nd or 3rd visit. I believe the 2nd visit. Within like 2 weeks, you should be feeding your baby enough where it's back at its birth weight. So don't be surprised within that first week if he's not, or he or she is not at its weight. Just letting you know. Don't be like, oh my gosh, my baby's not eating. I gotta feed my baby. No, it's normal for them to lose weight within 24 hours. So the birth weight is just the birth weight. Okay? All right. Make sure you have some type of support. I know that every mom that's watching this is not going to be married, or have a significant other, or maybe not even have parents. But even if you have a really good friend, make sure you have someone to support you, because within the first 2 weeks of you having your baby, I don't think I've ever met a mom that has not gone through baby blues. There's different things. You can have postpartum anxiety, you can have postpartum depression, but what is the most common thing is baby blues, and that's within the first 2 weeks of having your baby. You and your baby could be crying together, and that's normal. The only thing that's concerning is if it goes more than 2 weeks, and now we're looking at postpartum depression maybe. But within the first 2 weeks, you're gonna be crying, you're gonna be happy, you're gonna be sad, you're gonna be angry, you're gonna feel like, what did I just do? Why did I just have this baby? But then you're gonna look at, you know what I advise you to do? Smell your baby a lot. Take your baby and say, if this was your baby, just take a deep smell of your, and breathe. Oh my gosh, you know what? That's my advice. That's my biggest advice. Within that first week, within the first 2 weeks, and you feel overwhelmed, whenever you feel overwhelmed and your baby's crying and you might be crying, pick up your baby. Just take a big old whiff of that baby. And I guarantee you're going to feel better, because it does something to, I'm going to go on Google right now. It does something to you. Hold on. Let me ask Google real quick. So, according to Google, this is why I'm saying this. Smell your baby. I think I'm going to title this, Smell Your Baby. Anyways, smelling a newborn can trigger a strong reward response in a mother's brain, releasing dopamine and oxytocin, which promotes bonding, comfort, and feelings of well-being, and helps mothers get through the exhaustion of caring for a newborn. So that's all I'm gonna say. The newborn stage is the first 3 months of a baby's life. I should have probably did that more now that I'm talking about it, because baby, I cried a lot. Still crying. Anyways, smell your baby and know that it will get better. It does get better. You will figure out a routine that works for you and your baby. Do not compare your motherhood journey to anybody else's. You can ask for advice if you want to, but you don't have to always follow the things that people tell you, because I'm only sharing my experience, but that does not necessarily mean, oh, what works for me is going to work for you. I know what's going to work for you is smelling your baby, so smell your baby. But I'm just trying to give you a glimpse of what your first week and a little bit onward is going to look like. But I'm not going to rant on anymore, because I feel like smelling your baby is going to help you get through a lot. I talked about you bleeding. Your breast is going to be hurting. Your vagina might hurt. You might not be able to poop. You might have hemorrhoids. Get you a peri bottle. I forgot to mention that in my last video. When you're peeing, that angled peri bottle, not the bottle they give you at the hospital. Get you an actual angled head peri bottle. So when you're peeing, you're spraying, because peeing is gonna hurt as well, especially if you tear. I didn't, but it was sore for a little bit. So, I think I am missing some things, and if I am, I'll just make another video. But if you do have specific questions, please let me know in a comment down below, and I will get to them when I see them, and I will answer them. I promise I will. Anyways, smell your baby. See you in the next video. Love you guys, but Jesus loves you most. Bye.